What is happening, crew? You are live on this beautiful Sunday, January 14th, 2024. I got my favorite drink to get with my dad here today. Happy birthday to my old man, to our Batman, to the leader of our channel.
Salute.
Salute to you, sir. Much love,
Cheers.
much appreciation.
Cheers to my green tea.
I'm glad we ended up together and not me with some other prick. I got this. This is my prick right here.
Yeah. You got the old man part. Nice. Yeah. Ron Wood's in the house.
Ron.
There he is.
You ready to film these two knuckleheads?
He showed up for my birthday video. I wanted to say this. It's like a couple of people were asking me like, oh, wait a minute. You're gonna do a live show on your birthday? I was like, these are my people, man. Like, you know, that's what you call me.
Think, McFly, think. Of course.
You're right. Yeah, so it is my birthday. I am 64 years old. I was born in 1960. But I am happy to be here. I've been looking forward to this day for like all week, actually. Not because it's my birthday, because I was going to do a live with you guys. I think what we're building right here is we're just getting better and better and better. And I don't know if you guys have noticed the chemistry between Brent and I has gotten so much better. The comments have gotten way better. I kind of got a feel for who everybody is and what they need from what we have to offer. And it's just really neat. And I think we should do more live streams, but Sundays right now are what we're on. So we do long ones though. So buckle up, grab something cold or hot.
Grab yourself a cold beverage. Enjoy
right. It. Yeah. So
buckle up, buttercups. We got some things to
Thanks,
discuss.
Brittany. Thank everybody thanking me. Thank you. Hey, got to thank my parents, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
I heard a funny joke last night. You guys might appreciate this one. We were playing poker again last night. How'd it go? His daughter went up to his son went up to his mom and asked her, "Mom, did you want a boy or were you really hoping to get a girl?" And she goes, "Honey, I was just trying to get a back rub."
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty good.
That's really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yo, what's up, crew?
Yeah, we got the whole house. Look at everybody's in the house. Very nice.
Northern, we saw your question. We will get there. That's so cool. It's so cool to have all of you in today already.
Yeah. Becky's all
Tyranny Rival. Tyranny Rival, that the name for the win. Becky's here, Dad.
Dude, Tyranny Rival? Oh, he just stole my favorite.
Crypto Man, Al's Pond. These rare people. Love you guys.
Yep. Mike Hawk. Yeah, I don't know how many gems we have today, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I want to start with kind of a macro big picture. Those of you who saw my last couple of videos, you kind of know where my head's at on this one. I have a kind of a really neat big picture of what I think is happening. And I don't typically watch all my videos a second time, but I happened to watch one the other day. And I was like, wow, Al, you didn't even get the whole damn point across. What I was trying to say by assets, the monetary wealth of the world is pretty much from people 40 to 80, right? And all of that wealth is new to crypto, obviously. But when you look at the numbers of what's out there and the big numbers that catch me the most, obviously it's real estate. That's a ridiculously overinflated market. That's my opinion. But the one that caught me was that there's $7 trillion just in US Treasuries, which is absolutely dying a very rapid death. In fact, I really love when there's companies that come out and tell us, oh, Bitcoin's too volatile. Bitcoin was less volatile last year than US Treasuries. Think about that. So, like, whenever you hear these companies go, oh, no, it's too risky, it's too volatile. No, it's not volatile. It's mellowed out, and it's actually, it went up 100, Bitcoin in particular, but went up 100, almost 70% for the year. Well, bonds, sure, there's a guaranteed rate right now. If you get a 10-year or whatever it is, no, it's 2-year, I believe was 5.2, which is damn good interest rate. But even if you hold your crypto, any crypto, for any period of time, in particular 4 years, because let's just say those are 2-year to 4 to 5-year bonds, right? You're going to be up 10 times that amount. Well, it's not going to take long before the people my age start to figure out, well, wait a minute, it's not risky anymore with this ETF. It's not, I'm not gambling. It's not volatile. I'm getting out of my bonds because there's no liquidity in those bonds because people that own them are stuck with them. And the people, yeah, sure, they're making their 5% interest, but there's going to be, when the interest rates start dropping again, there's going to be a reason for them to hang on to them. But the big macro picture of that whole scene is, in my opinion, we had the dot-com bubble, we had the real estate bubble, we had the Wall Street bubble, we had the banking bubble of 08. And then here recently, we kind of had the everything bubble, okay, if you will. We had the everything bubble. And it all kind of popped right around 2020, 2021. 21 was a kind of a boom, but 22, it kind of popped and everybody started declining. That's deflationary. And what we're doing right now is prices are dropping. That's your homes, your cars, all those big purchase items are dropping in value. But what's going to happen is they're going to reach a point to where they get low enough to where they become very, very enticing to people who have money on the sidelines, who are in these bonds that they're trying to get out of the $7 trillion of liquidity that's going to come to where? It's going to come and look for a new asset class. Because they're getting out of the old asset class, because there's nobody under 40 buying a damn bond, okay? So they're going out of that and they're getting into all of it, but I don't think they're going to get into real estate the way they did. It's too overpriced for people, you know, Brent's generation and lower. It's just too expensive. Mm-hmm. And let's face facts, it's shelter, okay? It's not an investment portfolio. That's what we screwed up the last 30 years of this ridiculous printing of money. We've made a home, which should have been shelter from the weather, an asset. We need to house people. We don't need to try and get rich off our neighbor to rent it on a more expensive house or sell him my more expensive house. We just need shelters. Okay, so I think there's going to be a bit of a switch there, not just the real estate, which I talked about in that video, but I really think the bond market is going to start coming now to, in particular, all the ETFs, which are going to start with the Bitcoin, probably end up with Ethereum. And if you did see my video about the XRP, clearly that is a possibility to the XRP one. So on a big macro picture, I don't see a recession coming. I see more of them printing a whole lot more money. I see the value of the dollar going down, and I see that being an asset increase of hard assets. In other words, your golds, your silvers, your, what I talk about all the time, your top 20 crypto coins is going to love the new liquidity cash, not just from what they print now, guys, from the bond spillover, okay? And by the way, the bond spillover could be as much as, you know, $2 to $3 trillion. That's huge. Yeah.
That's quite the
So,
spillover. Yeah.
yeah,
What's what's the brand new kid on the block, Dad? What's the brand new market?
yeah, right.
What's the big sponge
Yeah.
on Wall Street?
There's only one big sponge and somebody threw it in the pool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Somebody threw it in the pool Thursday. And they're going to soon understand scarcity. I don't believe they don't understand scarcity yet.
Mm-hmm.
There's something I read, last night, 2 nights ago, I read that just alone, there was the single greatest day. You can look at it on a chart too. It's really kind of cool. Coinbase sold more Bitcoin that day than any other day.
Wow.
They don't have a lot of Bitcoin, guys. And they sold it over the counter, which does not reflect on the price that you and I see. And I want to say it was 4 billion that just Coinbase sold. So that isn't even in the numbers that you're hearing about on the exchange. So yeah.
Must have been that 3 billion you were talking about being sidelined.
Yeah. And the latest I heard was they had the last time they were audited, they had 12 billion, don't quote me on these, 12, 14 billion in Bitcoin. And that was a year ago and the price was lower, about half that price. So they have about 25, 30 billion and they sold 3 billion in one day. So that's how many coins they have left. Yeah. And by the way, that wasn't even Friday's sales over the counter. That was Thursday only. So they probably sold another billion that day. So of the 25 billion, we'll call it, they've sold 4 of the 25 already. Yeah. So that'll tell you about how long it has before it just says, well, we're not selling any more of these. The day that Coinbase just says, I'm not selling Bitcoin, and I'm not even going to post it on the they'll probably sell it to you and I, but not over the counter. They'll probably sell it to keep a market,
right?
Big mass market going.
It's going to be too useful and valuable an asset. They're going to be able to make money on it. Hello.
Yeah, like if you had $1 billion in Bitcoin and you think it's going up over the next 6 months, why would you sell it?
I don't know.
I mean, unless you had to.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to hear from Sean today.
He said he might come by. He's running errands. Hey, Joanna.
I would think he'd be a little hungover today.
What?
That was a bit of
the Dolphins game.
That was a bit of a rough loss for them last night. Yeah.
It was a bloodbath.
It was, yeah. Joanna's in the house. Hey, girl. Hope you're feeling better. Joanna's been a little
DCA, dollar cost average, folks.
Yeah.
Hang on for dear life. HODL. Yeah. So we saw a little kick in the price, right? We saw a little fun day. We had a fun day, right? We had our little celebration day, and then back to reality. So let's just say it looks like to me since the price has gone down since the release of Bitcoin, I'm pretty sure it's down.
Yeah, it's gone down quite a bit. Retail.
So what a video my dad did very recently really respawned this for me, and it's so important. It's all about vision and big picture. What increased? So we could say, oh man, there's all these people. Well, the price went down. Adoption goes up, value goes up. And that, what you said just a bit ago, Dad, is the key, and it's scarcity. And when institutions understand it, and when governments truly understand it, and when the little people like us really get it, that this asset is limited. This is limited edition, whatever you're purchasing. There are some that aren't, but the majority are. And when that happens, I think in the case of like this with the ETFs, which market fund managers, who is not going to be looking at this? Who's not going to look at the overall life and price of this asset in Bitcoin and say, okay, well, I need to make said quota here. That's my goal to make for my clientele. Why wouldn't I be looking at this brand new gorgeous asset class that has just been given the green light by the government for you and I to be able to buy with cash? Who's not looking at that? Who's not going to look at that? That to me is the win. It's not, oh my God, we're going to get rich tomorrow. It's just that's the last thing. That's the very last thing to look at here, everybody. The value, the intangibles that are happening, the word of mouth on Wall Street, all of that critical in the adoption of all of this. And the adoption being the long game that I'm really talking about, where people like us have wallets and we know how to use it. And one day we trade with coins that, aren't going to be quite as valuable as XRP and Bitcoin and others. And that mentality and building that to where people are comfortable using it. And then also we're choosing the right projects, the right blockchains, the right coins and tokens to be able to trade, to be able to make gains with all that stuff. It's a quantum leap forward in that. And to me, that's what I'm still celebrating with the ETFs. The rest of it, not really, because, corruptibility. Now they're making it into an instrument. And we know what happens with those.
And what's happening, like I was mentioned there in the beginning, and exactly what you're talking about, is we're kind of concerned about what the baby boomers are doing and thinking right now, but we don't really need to, because what's going to happen? Okay, what's going to happen over the next 6 months? Okay, is they're going to go play golf with these guys, with their brokers. I think it was it Bitwise that I heard did 20,000 demonstrations to brokers last year alone about crypto ETFs. 20,000 private meetings. That means there's at least 20. There had to be multiple brokers in many of those rooms. So at least 20,000 brokers around the US have been educated on what the product is, how they can sell it, what their commission is, and what they're going to make, and how to present it to their clients. Okay. Well, now all of those conversations are happening on a golf course near you right now, yesterday and today.
It's now an option.
Right. Yeah. Tennis courts or wherever, probably a little cold for tennis, but it's happening now. That this fundamental brokers are coming into the system and talking their book about you and I's book. This is our book, guys. We're the owners of these companies. We own the product. When you own XRP, you own the company, right? It's such, people are selling you to these wealthy people. That's what they're selling, is you. You own what they're trying to buy. So what I want to talk about with the younger generation now, when I went back to real estate now, and I was talking about that kind of stuff, you, Brent, and people in your position, and many people in my age group even, feel that crypto is their last shot. I've got to get this right. Because, Raoul Paul always says, don't F this up, right? That's his new slogan. Yeah. And because he sees this next bull run or the one after it being the last two. Okay. And it's everybody who's even younger, and the older people are going to get sold on it. But the younger people are like, okay, this is my shot. I've got to get this right. How am I going to get it right? And they're on channels like this one and many other great channels. And they're getting common sense information about, okay, how do we do this? How do we exit? How do we build a portfolio? How do we make sure that we don't just get whipsawed on all of these bulls and bear markets that now I've been through 3 of them. And I'm glad to say that, I get this now. I get it better than I did.
Yeah.
And you're going to need to take some profits because it's a market. The liquidity will be there. Like what I talked about last Sunday, what's about to happen is what's happening to you and I, let's say Becky and I, or whoever, Robert Driscoll, okay? We, the 3 of us, do really well with our crypto. All of a sudden, you can pay your house off, you can pay all your bills off, you can get out from under every debt you've ever had, and you can still have $100K or $200K to say, okay, what else do I want to do? Right?
Mm-hmm.
For the first time in maybe your life, you're going to be in that position. And then you're going to sit there, you're going to sit, well, I'd rather have all those numbers on a screen that say XRP next to them. No, you're going to change your life because that is important to you. That is what I'm talking about. Liquidity is going to come into the market. People are going to be selling, people are going to be buying what you own. When you understand that your asset is worth more to your life, we used to call it in yachting, we used to call it FU money, right? It's like when you get enough money in your bank account and you don't like the boat you're working on or the boss or the captain or whatever, it's FU money. Mm-hmm. When you guys reach that point to where, oh man, I don't need it to go up another $1. I don't want to miss the top. Let me take some off the top and change my circumstances financially. And I have to, this is probably a perfect time to talk about this. I know Simon's in the chat. I saw him in there. Simon started, and Joanna's in there. And when Simon started a little, how do I say this? Nudged my wife, who is one of the most competitive, hardworking, thoughtful people. She will, if she's interested in something, she'll break it down all the way down to splitting hairs. And she'll know everything she can about it. Well, she's working on something right now that is going to help all of our lives in this whole crew because she's wrapping her head around it. It's a concept that I understood that Simon's really kind of helping her out with, helping all of us out with, but he's turned us on to another guy. And it's really, I knew the system of getting out of banking and banking for yourself and all that existed. I read Robert Kiyosaki's book 25 years ago, but I never applied it, never had a way to apply it. Okay. I know there's many in here probably watch Coach, what's his name? Coach T or Coach B or some guy with a beard. I've only seen a couple. I tried to meet him actually at Las Vegas last year. Coach something, good guy, seems to be a great guy. He is involved with life insurance and how they're using life insurance and how you become your own bank, which is pretty much what crypto is. So then now that we've all learned the fundamentals, okay, of who we are, what sound money is, and that we're going to probably in very short term have more money than we maybe have ever had before, we're going to have to know what to do with it. And that's where we're at. Coach JB. Yeah.
John
okay.
Vasquez. Thanks, John.
JB. That sounds right. Coach JB. Yeah.
Who's John Vasquez, Hoofty?
Yeah, I'm not necessarily trying to promote his product, but I know he's got into life insurance and he got into securing his own finances through that. So it's pretty cool stuff. And Simon and I, my wife, are going to be working on that over the next few months. Cool stuff, guys. I'm sure many of you heard about it. You understand the concept of paying yourself, but that's kind of what you're doing. Yeah.
Thanks, Hoofty. And yes, I did watch Waters Above finally, and it was fantastic.
Yeah, it's cool.
There's something about doing that type of show and narration that is
Yeah,
such a cool way to do YouTube videos. Loved it.
I want to answer this question somebody asked up here.
Yeah, we got to go back to, I want to look at Northern's question too.
I want to answer this one because it's on my mind. OG Mac, can you talk about the different sectors of crypto people should diversify into? ISO 222. Okay, interoperability payments. Yeah. Okay. First of all, this brings me to a video that I just watched that a friend of ours in the chat, Simon Says Crypto, was interviewed a man called Mr. Man. Excuse me if you guys, if you guys have heard of this Mr. Man guy, check his stuff out. Simon will probably put the link in there. He just did a really cool interview with Simon on that show, and it was about ISO 222. It was about, he had a timeline that he predicts that it's going to happen in, which I found fascinating. And he's a pretty interesting dude. He really knows what he's talking about. And I was really taken by his information. He digs really deep, and then he projects what he thinks a timeline can be based on what they've said. But one thing I noticed in his video is that I looked back at that chart and their timeline hasn't even occurred yet. What should have already passed. So I was like, well, that was kind of, oh, well, nothing's perfect. Back to OG's question. The different sectors, by the way, is way more than what'd you put there, 4. Okay. If you're into crypto, if you're into our group and you don't own XRP, you look deeper into it. You need to own XRP. It's not financial advice. I'm just saying, if you're going to own a coin for 50 cents or 60 cents, whatever it is today, that might be one you really should look at. Okay. Basics. That's basically covering the ISO interoperability answer right there. That's all you need to know about that one, and payments for that matter. But NFTs, they took a big hit, but I think they're going to be massive. Okay. I don't follow them the way I did a couple of years ago, but they're going to be in everything. They're going to be in ticket sales. They're going to be, you're going to one day buy a piece of real estate in it, and it'll be an NFT. That's how big NFTs are going to be. And I like the other name for them, secure digital assets. Yeah, but there's all sorts of. Web3 is bigger than it's ever been before, and everybody's standing around going, well, it's not going to work, and it's not happening. Well, it's happening right now, man. I don't know where you've been. Right?
Digitally and physically, it's coming to a theater near you.
Yeah, and DeFi.
My assumption, Dad, is it's so much farther along than we could even think of.
It is. It's so much bigger.
You start digging into any of this stuff with the ETF stuff, with the Northern's talking about the XRP one, and like you start digging into stuff, and it's like, holy cow! There's already, competitors. There's already competition. There's already weird.
Web3 is impossible not to occur. Just think of one thing: AI. When you think AI and you build AI out on the internet, it's a perfect fit for Web3.
Mm-hmm.
That's perfect. And it's going to be, in my opinion, it's going to run on layer 2s. It won't be on layer 1s. I'm just guessing on that. I think it'll be on your layer 2 coins, because you don't want that kind of intrusion on your layer 1s, in my opinion. It's too much network. It's too much going on. Like, that's what I don't like about what Bitcoin's trying to do. They keep trying to add all these oracles and all the rest of the stuff to it. And I'm like, dude, why don't you just be what you are? Why don't you stay in your lane? And why don't you let XRP move the money around the world? Why don't you just be an asset? That's my opinion.
Yeah.
And DeFi, that one's so deep I can't even get into. DeFi is the future of all finance. I don't know if you guys just heard Larry Fink just the other day. He said we're going to digitize everything, including you. I didn't like the way he said that much, but what he doesn't understand is he doesn't know how to word the fact that you're going to have a wallet, and you are going to have a wallet, and there's nobody going to get in or out of your wallet but you. Okay. And all this password crap and all this intrusion by and I'm going to say it, 3-letter agencies are the ones hacking everything. Okay. At least behind a lot of it and being caught at it. All of that's going to go away to some degree. Well, until they catch up, but your private wallet is going to be your own identification. This whole social security thing or your SIN number up in Canada, that's like ridiculously weak at best. It's not, anybody can hack the thing. So we need to get out from underneath that. And that's going to be, believe it or not, that's going to be DeFi. DeFi is going to get into, you're going to be able to earn credit staking with your coins and or loaning of your coins to create DeFi to generate monthly income, but you have to have a financial solid base in which to do it from. In other words, your identification number, your place, your wallet. Okay. That's why they're trying to control all the on-ramps and off-ramps, is because of DeFi. Well, many other things, but one of the big thing is they didn't care for all these companies offering 8 and 10% on your money, right? When banks are giving you 0.0, 0.01 on your money, and they were having to compete. So what did they do to Signature Bank? Remember, guys, I did 2 or 3 videos about that. Signature Bank was not insolvent. They were profitable. They took Signature Bank down because they wanted the code and they wanted the system in which they started. They had a node program that's actually since then has been adopted by Fed now, and it's called a Bridge and Company, and you can look it up. And I did a video about that 6 months ago, but it's really, really big. And all of that is connected to, they saw that you and I are crypto, not us, the programmers were way ahead of finance and how to make money with DeFi. And they did everything they did to collapse it and to shut it down. But that will be the way you earn an income the rest of your life, through staking and DeFi.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pick any coins because that's up to you guys, but I own a few of them that are DeFi, Web3, and I don't own any NFTs right now, actually. I don't have any, but I believe in all of them. There's so many great things going on. We're going to do a show too about Web3 and DeFi, and it's not what you think. It's going to be about a company and a coin that's doing a lot of stuff with that right now. And that's to come one day. I don't know when.
Want to respond to Mark Cowley. I'm concerned about getting large amounts of profits off upholding Coinbase after the bull run gets going. And then he added, upholding Coinbase limits your withdrawals to $10,000 to $15,000 a day. I don't recall the limits at the moment, but that's a huge one to know. That should be written into our plan. Everybody, is whoever you're going to, on ramp, off ramp with, take withdrawals, take gains. If you have a large sum of crypto that you want to sell off, or trade, understanding those limits on said platform. Uphold, I had a if none of you have traded on it yet, I had major issues, as we all do with all of them. But the first time I made purchases on Uphold, I had big trouble with my bank. And so your first transactions in that, make them small and get that verified and approved and all that before you toss the whole wad at it. Would be my advice. As far as big withdrawals, Dad, do you have anything to add to that?
No.
It kind of begs the question too, should we get this huge price rise? Are these institutions, are these exchanges going to be able to liquidate, or are they going to want to? Or are there going to be laws passed that, create limits on all of that? Or institutional limits that they, get into? And so I think understanding your exchange is going to be paramount for us in a bull run coming up.
Yeah.
I thought that was a great point, Mark. Thank you.
I know another person, Brent, that had actually, I don't want to say this. Well, yeah, you're my people, man. There's a guy by the name. I'll leave his name out. I didn't get his, but somebody that's been in the chat before. Mm-hmm. And he actually is down a few thousand XRP coins through Uphold. And they're like, yeah, no, you don't have any coins here, type thing. And he's getting a big blank stare and he's really bummed about it. And I will tell you what his plan of attack is he's going to XRP 2024 and he's going to look those boys in the face and say, hey, what the hell, man? So he's pretty excited that Uphold's going to be there. I met those guys last year, straight up, first class, look you in the face and say, we'll fix it, or we'll get to it, or let us know more. That's why I encouraged him to go to the show, and he's coming. So they are really straight shooters from what I could tell, man. They answered everybody's question. They weren't just on stage and then ran off and hid somewhere. They were like in the crowd and talking to people and taking your information down and wanted to know. They were curious to find out what your experience was. So and my experience, I've bought, sold, and traded on Uphold now. Excellent experience so far. Excellent. Yeah. Well, it's all fun and games till you lose coins, though. Yes. Like, wait, that's not excellent. No, not good. That's not great. But not ideal, folks. I don't typically like to throw companies or wallets or transactions under the bus because most often it's operator error. And so it's, you don't really, or your bank, threw a booger in there somewhere, whatever. Yeah. Simon threw out, check out Caleb and Brown. I know you know them, Dad. Oh yeah. I've been with Caleb and Brown for, I don't know, 3-4 years now, something like that. Yeah. I highly recommend those people. It's first class service, by the way. Mm-hmm. So you pay for that, but you can get a broker on the phone, put it that way, and say, hey, he'll be like, what do you want to do? Where do you want your coins? Which is really kind of fun for an old guy like me. Al's coin says BitGet, which I'd never even heard of, allow 3 million a day with KYC. Very cool. Thank you, Al. Yeah. Biggest news in the world. What's that news, Travis? What's the biggest news in the world that we're not covering? I hope something not terrible's happening. Jason, is it good? I want to get to Jason's question too. where was it? It's up here somewhere. Heifel is a prominent influence in the space deeply against pending XRP ETF. And I kind of covered that in a video, recent one. I'm sure you saw it, Jason. Boy, that's a long story. If we want XRP to be a global currency instead of just a liquidity transactor, if you will, you don't want it to be an ETF. You just don't. Like, there's not a US dollar ETF, right? That's why we have the Dixie. You wouldn't trade the US, you wouldn't own US dollars and trade it as a security. Okay. That's why you would not want XRP. Like in the video, I try to explain, in the short term, it would be great for number go up. It'd go from 60 cents to whatever within 6 months, or however many people bought the ETF, would actually influence the purchasing of XRP for sure, no question. But in the long run, if you believe, like I believe, that it's going to be the future of all transactions and have to, how do I put this? It has to become the value of everything that's transmitted from point A to point B. If you're going to become the value of point A to point B, I'm just going to tell you that's $1 quadrillion. There's that many points out there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a way bigger number. So when people tell me, oh yeah, well, Jimmy Valley's off his tree to calling it $30,000. No, he's low. That's low if it becomes the value of all asset. That's not going to be. That's going to be. That's a whole nother picture. That's a whole nother show, and I know that doesn't necessarily answer your question. In the long run, I would not be in favor of it. If somebody asked me to vote, I'd say no. That's where I'm at with it. But is it going to be price influential, and would it make the price go up and more people would understand what it is? There'd be more adoption of it, and there would be more purchasing in the short term. Yes, it would be a benefit to people who currently own XRP. Yeah, it would. I know I didn't answer the question, but I'm on the fence, as you can tell. It's good and bad, like most things in life. B-Man, what do you think about that?
Yeah, no, you both just got me thinking about it. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
I know, yeah.
Yeah, and fences are actually really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was reading comments too. How are you, Jay Crypto? We're doing good here.
Yes, Becky, I did see that video actually. Yeah. Just a real quick answer. With Gasparino. Yeah, somebody sent it to me.
Any ETF is a control system for governments. And
it used to be. I don't know if it's going to be.
Yeah, hopefully the differences in what this is. So
yeah,
my dad launched a video today about cash versus in kind. I really liked it a lot. I took notes on it, and I brought up kind of the definitive what it is, and I really go check that out, everybody. I really like my dad's breakdown of it. But it really gets into the spirit of where that is. because yeah, we kind of all get that feeling of it's like, well, okay, this is cool because now we're going to get this value, we're going to get this adoption, but now our beloved crypto is, hand in hand with said government, which if you're people like me, you're naturally not very excited about. But on the other hand, if you look deep into it and understand it, and I'm really happy that you do that for us, Dad. Understanding how it's working, like, instead of us going to BlackRock and lending them our coin, that's no to regulators. That's the no.
Right. Yeah.
Why? Because of what my dad's talked about with stable coins and with increasing the value of the dollar. They want us to give them cash, and then BlackRock not hold your crypto or the crypto that's going to be on exchange, like you said, right now for them.
Yes.
So just getting into that, we'll do a little definition on what is payment in kind. Payment in kind is the use of a good or service as payment instead of cash. Payment in kind also refers to financial instrument that pays interest or dividends to investors of bonds, notes, or preferred stock with additional securities or equity instead of cash. And to your point on all of that, Dad, they want us dealing in cash. And that is where we were not hand in hand and locked in. Because again, to your point on that video, what's the difference between us purchasing crypto and stable coins and holding it ourselves versus going and using these institutions to do it? Yes, you have the safety. You have the safety of their regulations. And yes, if you have your money that is going from your paycheck into your 401k or your fund that you're pumping money into for retirement or whatever else,
like you're not, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Then hopefully, if you are pro Bitcoin, then these institutions, Fidelity and whoever, are going to invest in that, and you're going to be able to get that price exposure of the movement of Bitcoin through one of these funds. But what we all know is, go ahead, Dad. Run with that.
The problem with the beauty of in kind is if you bought a Bitcoin for 50 grand, it went to 100 grand, you could pull 2 Bitcoins out. They don't have 2 Bitcoins. Scarcity is going to be a big issue, right? But they should have 2 Bitcoins. But what we know about ETF markets, they are a asset-backed derivative. That's all they are. It's a brand new derivative of a product. And to some degree, there's by the way, this is coming to a laptop near you. They're going to start bunching them up. And they're going to say, oh, well, we got this new ETF out, and it's going to be Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. You could buy the 3 combo burrito. Mm-hmm. Oh, boy. But remember, they have to own all 3 in the background. Mm-hmm. And let's just say they've been less than forthright or honest in the past with their ownership of gold or silver. GLD is a complete abomination of an ETF. It just has been. Did it make gold go through the roof? Of course. And it's propping gold market up. But there are the Chinese in particular, are creating a honest gold market that is destroying GLD as we speak, because they're like, oh no, you got this much money, you want this much weight of gold, period. No more of the 3 shell game thing with the P under it. We're not doing that anymore. And they are the #1 gold exchange in the world now. And all of this started happening. I know I'm an old guy, but all of this started happening like 2012, 13, and 14, when, they started creating the whole BRICS nations and all that. So I believe, this is what I believe. I know I'm Pollyanna, and I know I got hopeful thinking, and I know all the rest of it.
It's good. We need it.
I think the biggest reason why 11 companies got involved, and there's never been a launch with over 2 before, was all 11 of those countries understand the importance of the scarcity of a coin in which they can't lie about. And somebody asked me in my chat the other day, commented in my video, well, what makes you think they're going to be honest about this one? And it's like, I just wrote one word. And what word would that be, Brent? Blockchain.
Yeah.
Blockchain.
We can all get on there.
Yeah. We're going to be able to look on the blockchain and go, well, wait a minute. This thing gets audited every 10 minutes. Where did you come up with this $500 billion? Where's your coins? You don't own those coins.
Right.
It's an honest ledger. And I think they finally got it, the Finks of the world and whatnot, or the system. If they even created the coin, probably, I don't even know. Let's not go there right now. But they understand the scarcity and the limitations of its, you can't just make more. And you can't just say, oh, yeah, I bought $1 trillion of them yesterday. Oh, well, where are they? It's sort of like the guy, it's like, oh yeah, that's a brand, when you're buying a car, it's like, yeah, that's a brand new alternator. See, it looks all new. Now I don't know what happened to the receipt. Dog ate it. I don't, there's no more of that with finance. And these 14 companies understood that 14 applied, 11 were granted. They figured out, they're like, uh-oh, we better own this one. We better get the people to pay for it so we can hold it under our roof. Mm-hmm. That's a big thing, guys. Mm-hmm. Fidelity gets to say, yeah, under our roof, we have 40,000 Bitcoin and 8 billion XRP coins. This is a big thing. This, like, not today, but like, when Brent's my age, he's going to be looking back going, wow. I'm glad we did what we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It melted faces.
Yes.
And that safety, I'm so glad you brought up derivatives, Dad, because the real safety in my mind for all of us is awareness. Are we going to be diligent enough, all of us, to audit and actually go on and track on the blockchain and keep them accountable in the market, for that said market? And is that going, there's so many other ways to look at it, but that is so paramount for us to know as an investor in it. It's like, if you're some big bank or corporation or group that wants to buy these ETFs, that's kind of where my head's at with it now. It's like, are you going to be diligent about, are they going to be able to change a law, or, like you're saying, Dad, create a derivative to where what we've seen, a decade ago, where you're just buying crap. You're not. That was my concern with ETFs a year ago. Is really, it wasn't Bitcoin. They were talking about, putting it with treasuries and bonds and all this other crap that we aren't interested in investing in. And so I hope the awareness and these middle players who can actually afford and get into these ETFs, keep it accountable. And to your point, Dad, we really stick with the nature and the honesty that comes from blockchain gets further and further adopted into the system. Now that we're this, as of less than a week ago, I want it to be the influence of blockchain, and not the other way around. And luckily, because of scarcity and because of the nature of decentralization and other things, that it's more than hope. It's more than hope. It is physically written in the code. This trade good, that is nothing. You made that up.
I talk about banks all the time, but we should really, let me get into these fundamentals one more time. Banks were only created because man with chicken and man who was carpenter had no way to trade. How many chickens does it take to have a room built or a roof built? Okay, so we needed money. Well, when we got money, we said, well, the carpenter said, no, you said 100 chickens to put a roof on your house. And the guy with the chicken said, no, I said 50. And we needed a bank. We needed a bank between chicken guy and roofer guy, okay? Well, what's happened over the years is the chicken guy bribed the bank guy to say, hey, no, man, tell him it was only 50 because, I bought this senator and this person over here, and let's go ahead and do this. And this guy got voted in, and it corrupted itself naturally over 1,000 years. Okay. What blockchain, I don't need to explain blockchain to you guys, but what it did was put third layer accountability is what it did. Mm-hmm. We don't, no more man bank organization with their own greed. See, we just threw greed in the middle of the roofer and the chicken guy is what we did. And the worst greed is the one in the middle. Now what we've introduced, okay, is a per ledger where the bank isn't needed anymore. It's a three-party transaction. You agree what's in the middle, they agree what's in the middle, and the middle is the middle. And it's not a human being. It's not an organization, Jamie Dimon, in the middle of the two of us. It's perfect ledger. And they can't, how do they compete with that? They have to try and own it, which is where they're currently at. They're trying to, we better buy a bunch of this damn coin. That's where they're at. It's a mad scramble. And you can see it. I want to address this question because I love this one. And this one might take me 20 minutes to answer, but it's one of the subjects. And I think everybody's going to appreciate this. John Love, what do you think Larry Fink meant by you don't want to know why I can't talk about XRP and ETF as an ETF? This is big, guys. This is big stuff now. Pull up a chair. This is my 2 cents on what's happening with this whole thing. Okay. When you look back to what Larry Fink's whole program was, first of all, Larry Fink's not an idiot. Larry Fink works for some very intelligent people. And yes, I said he works for them. Okay. They tell Larry Fink which way to go. And by the way, Larry Fink tells Gensler when to get out of bed in the morning. That's not even a maybe. Okay. So let's just put that to rest. So when these people say, we want to go to this next system of accountability, of whatever, CBDCs, whatever it may be, whatever their master plan may be, that stuff's laid out years ago. So why did Larry Fink not come out 5 years ago, since he knew the plan, probably a couple of years ago, and say, hey, you know what? I think everybody should buy their own Bitcoin. Well, why didn't they tell everybody to buy gold and silver 2 or 3 years ago before it started screaming up, and when all the central bankers started buying it about 2 or 3 years ago and still buying it today? Because they don't want you out ahead of it. Okay. They want you to get in it when they want to sell it to you at a commission, when you can get it online for free. And what they're trying to do over the last year or two is shut off those on-ramps and off-ramps. Okay. And he was bad mouthing it, and all, Charlie Munger and his buddy and all those guys are just, I don't ever believe anything those two old men ever said. Ever. In the 30 years I've been listening to them speak, they've been wrong about virtually everything, and they've been bailed out numerous times by our government. And all you need to do is look up the silver contracts back in the 2008, when they bailed out Mr. Anyway, I don't want to go down that road again. What happened is they decided now's the time, basically. Okay. So when Larry Fink says, I don't want to go down that road about talking about XRP being a ETF, what he's talking about is they ain't ready for that yet. Period. Okay. That's not part of the next plan. We're doing this one now, and we're going to do that one then, and then we're going to do that one down the road. And don't ask me those questions to where the public can run out ahead of me. Okay. Basically, in a nutshell. Mm-hmm. But if you'll listen to Simon's interview with Mr. Mann, and he put a bunch of stuff together, which just solidified basically everything we pretty much already knew, is their game plan to move money around the planet. At least a big group of them, or one portion of the people at the top, want to run that on XRP. Okay. That's coming, people. That's not maybe, right? So when you understand that, he knows that. He can't talk about it. He can't talk about what they're going to do with XRP and the movement of all money. He can't. Why would he? When he hasn't completely solidified the, I don't know, whatever it is, 45 billion of them that are sitting in escrow. Like, where, that's still to be, that's still game money right there. That's still the untapped resource of XRP. That's like, hey, that's a big piece of the pie. What are we going to do with that thing? Who gets that? How are we divvying that thing out? They're just a little early. I know they've been working on this for 10 years with XRP, but like anybody that knows anything about big banking, it doesn't happen with a light switch. Like Brent and I talk about all the time, it took them 100 years to come up with a debit card. Like, banks they're not tech.
No.
They're just not. Yeah.
And why we need blockchain and why we need smart contracts is, bottom line, you can't trust them. And you can't trust them really because of that. They're treating us like mushrooms. They feed us crap and you keep us in the dark. And we are now in the business of holding this revolutionary asset that is trustless because of the ledger and the middle, like you said, Dad. And that can't. Like Becky said, it's all about fees. It's all about fees. It's about making money off of you. They are in the business of making money, and cousin, business is a booming.
And how successful has their anti-crypto campaign been for 15 years? Because you talk to Joe Smo on the street, and they're like, "Oh, that's volatile," or that, the parrot words. You talk to people on the street, they're just parrots. Oh, that's risky. Oh, that's this, or only drug lords, or only people that's rip people off. And did you hear about that Sam guy? That they've done a successful job of that until, and I did this video 2 years ago, guys. I was saying Wall Street's packaging this thing up getting ready to sell you something you can buy for free. And they're not selling it to you and I because we're buying it for free. They're selling it to the chimps that are just walking through the door, not even close to walking through the door yet. But when that parabolic spike happens, those chimps are going to buy at the top. Well, what's the beautiful part if you're a broker selling an XRP? Do you make more commission if he buys it at 50 cents or $15? See where I'm going?
Hello.
That's where we're headed. And that's why they're not ready. And by the way, they got the next, look how long bubbles last. Like real estate bubbles last, I don't know, whatever they're 5 to 8 years, right? Less than 10 typically, right? We have the next 5 to 8 years. We're not even in the bubble yet. We have like a 5 to 8, 10-year bubble that they're going to call, new technology that you have to own. And look at the, inflows and look at how much your 401k is up compared to last year. And by the way, all of you people with your pension funds, it's going to save your pensions. The crypto is going to save pensions over the next decade. Yeah. And because they got nothing else to save the pension.
Right.
They got nothing else.
No.
And they're going to sell it to new Johnny come lately guy. And that's a beautiful spot for us. It's big picture, but it's really easy to see once you see it.
And you said this earlier, like about my generation, Dad, is, we're kind of looking at this investing wise as kind of our last hope. And I would add on to that our best hope. And you can see by, yes, the campaign and now the adoption and all this buying and all the change in the narrative, it's also the best hope for them. Because you have to save pensions. You have to save retirements. You don't save pensions and retirements, you get strung up. You get revolution stuff. You get problems.
Yeah.
You lose any trust or credibility that you had is gone.
Right.
And can the current tools, does my generation believe in going out and buying bonds? No, because in my lifetime, they've all gone to crap. You didn't make money. And really, depending on how you traded, stock's kind of the same way. Because again, we don't know how much there is. We don't know what the company's doing. That's where I'm cautious with even crypto and these companies. Yep. We don't know where they're going. This is all speculation. And we do got to track it, and we do got to be accountable. And thank God the blockchain genie's out of the bag, because we need trust now, because this thing's getting out of control. It's been it's been out of control my whole lifetime.
It is. Yeah. It is, and it has been for a long time.
And what a sad thing to be out of control, and to have people like me that love talking to my dad about economics and studying and investing. And I want to have I don't care about being rich. I don't care. I don't care about the price. I don't. I care about comfort and being able to travel to Vegas to see you guys. That's really that's long term for me.
Yeah.
Like those kinds of things are what's important. Eating and shelter and all that stuff. And that with the way things have currently gone, is your dollars are losing value by the second in your wallet.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so for these Finks and Genslers and all these people to be, fighting us on it in the media and and hiding it from us is completely unacceptable to me. You do not deserve your position if you are not educating, if you are not telling people to look at this. If you're if you're the media, if you do any kind of economic media and you don't say like what you said, Dad, where it's, Wall Street had one of its biggest days. Like the Bitcoin ETF was a boom. It was
Yeah.
huge value creation.
And they have,
I
like I
looked,
was saying,
guys. I didn't see any of it.
they have 30, they probably have what, 20, 30 more coins that they're going to ETF. That's how many years from now? They're going to slowly pull these things out, and it's crazy.
We had a lot of questions on that, Dad, about, and I have some as well, about an XRP ETF. Can you give
There's
me
not any answers.
kind of our thoughts? Like, what is it? Is it practical? Is it the right thing to do it with?
No.
In your eyes? Yeah.
I personally, I don't even think Ethereum is either. It's too. I'm not a fan of Ethereum, and I think everybody on the show kind of knows that. But I'm not saying you're not going to make money with Ethereum. I just don't like the program much, and I'm not saying that because of anything I've heard on the internet. I'm saying that because I just don't. I still don't believe 2.0 went as smoothly as everybody says. And I've heard a lot of people actually show me the evidence of the fact that a lot of that whole system that they created is just from inflow and outflow of cash. And it's like, well, that's a Ponzi. That's not good. But I'm not trying to throw Ethereum under the bus. I just think it's a platform. It's a protocol. It's not a, it's sort of like saying, it's really hard for me to form an analogy about it, but let's say, you have a Microsoft, right? And then you have 2010. That's a system. But you can put so much on the system, NFTs and everything else, onto Ethereum, and there's so many coins under Ethereum on the ERC20 platform that is so massive. You're not buying one thing when you're buying Ethereum. You're buying the whole network. So it's a different, I don't know, it's different, guys. I don't even know how they're going to do that with something that vast. But yeah, I guess they're making NFTs for everything now. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but I heard somebody say it had a really cool statement the other day. They said they were laughing at Gary Gensler, and he said, "Yeah, well, we still don't think that it's risky and it's not great for the public, and we really shouldn't be doing this ETFs." For Bitcoin because it's all these things. And then somebody said, well, isn't it strange they didn't say that for the marijuana ETF? Like they didn't have a problem with that one. like I thought it was pretty funny. I was like, that's a pretty good analogy. I'm like, yeah, I just go ahead and puff it up, but don't buy that Bitcoin, whatever you do. Yeah, pretty funny.
Whatever they're saying, folks, just do the opposite.
Yeah, that's right.
Do your research. Divi smart contracts. Professor brought up Divi, Dad. What were you going to say?
Yeah, that's a good question here. Do you think the bull run will end in 2025 despite the ETF's regulation, adoption, tokenization? Yes, I do. And I base that on two of my favorite economists, and basically they're looking at the same thing I'm looking at, which is the business model is just kicking in right now, And what that means is they're going to start printing more money. The value of the dollar is going to go down. The dollar, the value decline always is good for crypto, always good for gold, and good for small business, because then you can sell overseas because it's not so expensive to buy American goods. So the business model is climbing but that business model, when it's created by, giving a patient morphine, is not a long-term solution. It only lasts, that injection only lasts for a period of time. And depending on when we start it, which is pretty much now, real soon, it pretty much never went away, but I mean, they're going to start really kicking it in. So I would say over the next year and a half is typically how long it lasts. So yeah, I think by 2025 that you're going to probably be looking for places to get out of crypto. Excuse me, guys.
Yeah. Professor just met with the CEO of Divi yesterday. They are kicking ass.
Who just put that in there?
Crypto Professor. That's what we like to hear.
Were you in, Crypto Professor, were you in on that meeting? Because we were just talking to Voice. Where's that post at? I don't see it. Man, I'm way behind. Holy smokes, have you guys been chatting it up over here or what?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Get it, crew. Get it. Much love to all of you.
Yeah, I want to get Voice on. He and I have been communicating, and that's going to be fun. Voice, if you guys don't know, is probably, he's the lead PR guy, if you will, but he knows more about the back end and the front end of Divi of anybody out there. He might be, I think he might even know more than Nick, believe it or not, who's co-founder of the company, Nick and Jeff. But yeah, Divi. Yeah, I just saw that 24 review of the upcoming year, and I liked that video a lot, and it inspired me to get a hold of people. And
I can't wait to watch that video.
You haven't seen that one yet? That one's good.
No, you sent it to me. I can't wait. What you told me about it, it's just Divi. It's just Divi.
Yeah. It is.
They're ever since I started following the project 2-3 years ago, they keep reaching. They keep going for it. They keep innovating. And a point my dad was up to me about them too is, based on what is probably going to be coming down the road, you've got to get out ahead of, all the things that you need to get out ahead of. You need to be cozy with the regulators. Unfortunately, you need to have the right investment tools set up so that, trading, and you need to have an easy to use wallet. You need to have the right staff. You need to have a global presence. You need to have a media presence.
They got all that. Well, they don't have a good media presence, but yeah.
Media in terms of like you were telling me, they're about the comic network, and so I need to look this up. I need to watch this video, but it sounds like they're teaming with Marvel, and they're going to be getting into the creating comics and that business. So I guess partnerships is a better way to put it. I've been able to go and see Nick talk, and just check this one out, crew. Go, if you are into Divi at all and want to do any research, research how they're trying to recreate the master nodes and how that system is going to work.
Yeah,
I'm just starting to dip the toe into that, and
it was huge.
it's just one of those companies. It's one of those projects that
Yeah.
it's part of why I got passionate about all this stuff in the first place.
So
It's
I
about
want to
doing
ask,
it right for the people.
Crypto Professor.
Dip a toe.
Yeah, Nick was in Sarasota at the Bitcoin Ben get together. But I'm just wondering if Professor went or what. Wondering how it was. Well, it's happening today, right? Yesterday, today. Nick's in Sarasota. Yeah, kind of cool. Yeah, Divi. That's what I love about Divi. Well, they went to the vault. Well, yeah, that's a long story, but they're really cool with anybody interested in a coin that is 0.005 whatever it is today, that actually has, it's not a hype coin. It's actually a coin that's got real players, real use case, an incredible wallet. I've been working on the desktop lately, and it's bottomed and now seems to be climbing up off of the bottom, which is always great for your Elliott wave people. And it looks like it's turned the corner team wise. Their struggles seem to be kind of behind them a bit. So yeah. And yeah, their side technology and their swap too. They're working with Sushi Swap, and also you're going to be able to swap in and out.
That is so huge.
Becky, what does Divi do? What do they not do?
Mm-hmm.
You should really look into them.
Yeah.
Divi.org, isn't it? No, Divi Project, I believe.
Yeah, Divi Project. I'll look it up right now.
Yeah, DiviProject.org is where you can find a lot of information. They're really cheap, and they're ridiculously cheap. Their all-time high was like 17, 18 cents when they signed up in La Liga a couple of years ago. But Jeff, also the co-founder, kind of the money guy behind the whole thing, that guy is just, he's had a brilliant life, an amazing man. And when you hear his life story, you're just blown away by like, wow, yeah. Yep. There you go. The Divi. Yeah, it's good stuff. What else we got in there?
Let's see. What are you doing for your birthday today, Dad? You going to Rick and Janice?
I am. I'm going to some friend's house. And I'm going to, we're having a steak dinner. Kind of nice. I made a chocolate cake this morning. So, yeah. I made a nice chocolate cake today. So, any of you that don't know this about me, I love to cook. And I've always had a passion for it. So, sometimes I really get into certain projects. And yeah, today being my birthday, I thought I'm going to make a nice birthday cake, not just a cake. I'm going to make a nice one. So it's going to look a little ugly because I'm not that quality. It'll taste really good, but it's going to look like, 3 miles of bad road. But
it's all that matters.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's good stuff. Man, I can't believe how many chats there are in this. It's so awesome to see. Yeah.
Krasowski, I'm looking for it, bro. I'm always looking for the scam.
Steak and chocolate makes me sound like Donald Trump or something, right? Like I don't know if you guys heard that story. It's kind of a Trump story, but the Chinese love the guy, and I don't know if you guys know this. He was the only Western leader in the history of China that's ever been invited to the Forbidden City, which essentially the Forbidden City is vegetarian. And they knew he was coming, and Xi Jinping had gone to Trump's place and had absolutely the finest steak and chocolate cake he'd ever eaten. So when Trump came to China, when he went to China, they had steak and chocolate cake at the Forbidden City, which was pretty unbelievable. Of course, the media didn't really talk about that, but we would get into it. I'm not a huge Trump fan, but he's probably better than the guy we got now, but we'll just leave it at that. I don't even know if that guy is even awake today, but I don't know what's going on with that guy. Yeah.
Sleepy Joe.
Yeah, that's it. Sleepy Joe. Yeah, it's my birthday today. 64 years young. And I'll tell you what, man, I do not feel it at all.
Mm-hmm. You don't act it, man. You don't actually know.
There are days when I feel about 80, but yeah. Yeah. What else we got in there?
Alan, are you waiting for all-time high before you take some profits?
All-time highs for XRP?
Yeah, before you take profits, Dad.
Yeah.
Is that the number? The high?
Yeah. Well, I just think, there's so much for that. Its price structure is so low, and there's a lot of buying pressure behind XRP. The biggest problem that it has is there's so many coins out there, right? And there's a lot of coins holding over everybody's heads, that escrow. So it's like, well, all the coins aren't on the market. So I think there's a lot of question on big players buying it at this point, and it's not as well known. I know the big banks are in on it. I know they got a lot of things figured out, and I know they own a lot of the, 50 billion coins that are owned out there. I know they own them. But what's going to happen is when it breaks that number, and again, guys, that number is lower than 75 cents now. To some degree. I haven't looked at the chart in a couple of weeks, but it's going to bust through that with so much momentum that it's going to trigger other traders, other bots, other things are going to see it as the next buy. But then when that happens, everybody's going to do the whole FOMO thing, which will happen somewhere right around the previous high, $3 somewhere. And that'll kick in and everybody going, oh my God, it's all-time high. Buy. That's when, the guy down the street buys, and that's just going to drive it up even more. And then, the algorithms kick in and, it's going to head north. And when it does, I really believe it's going to top out somewhere around 15 to 20 bucks. Yeah. We've talked about that.
Man, that's huge.
I was curious when you feel compelled to take an initial profit, waiting for all-time high. Yeah, I think we just talked about that. I'm probably not going to even start taking. I know a lot of people are a lot more conservative, but I don't have massive amounts of crypto, or as a lot of other people do. So I would need a little bigger move than $3 to take my first 25% off the table, if that makes sense. Yeah. I would say $8 to $10 is probably more my range of my first 25% I'd take off the table in a perfect world.
Yeah.
Who knows? Yeah. We'll work on that when we get closer to those numbers. That's for sure. And I will be totally transparent about what I'm doing. Yes, $50 for XRP. Count me in. I'll have some at that price. I will, because I won't sell all of my coins. Yeah. If XRP, oh, he said 50K.
Yeah, that's our wish for you, brother.
Yeah, that's our wish for anybody.
Yeah. We hope we're on the beach and we see you on your yacht just kind of cruising down the coastline. That's our friend Sean's dream. You all know Sean Robbins is in here. Yeah. He's telling me about the boat too, specifically, and it sounds very Sean, Dad. It's awesome. I was like, yeah, dude, you should absolutely do that. I'll crew for him.
Yeah, there's so many great stories. There's people in here that I know their story that you guys maybe don't get the inside baseball on a lot of this stuff, but I can tell you, there's people with very little money that own a lot of these coins. And it's going to be huge, guys. It's going to be big for people. I don't know when, but when it happens, it's going to be one of those. I talk about it a lot, and it's so true in trading. The hardest thing to do is not buy it, believe it or not. It's when to sell it.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to pull the trigger. When did I? Oh man, I let it go too far. Oh, now it's retraced and now it's going against me. I got to get out now and I'm going to sell it all now. And like, it's very difficult when when you were up 150,000 and now you're only up 100,000, you're sitting there and go, well, I lost 50 grand. I got to get the 50 back. All of that starts coming in. Yeah. What do I consider a large bag? Oh man, is that a good question? Man, I opened my big mouth on that, didn't I? I would say, okay, let's put it like this. If you have 1,000 XRP, it's going to take you a while, but you're going to be a pretty happy person. I would say anybody over 25,000 is a big bag.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'd say.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people with 50 to 100, a lot of people with those. But I don't think you need that to do really well, obviously. Yeah. Depends on what your number is. Yeah.
Always keep 10% forever. Yeah. Absolutely, Jay. Absolutely. Yeah. A lot an amount that you never sell.
Yeah.
Because that's going to.
So yeah, anything over 25,
help those around you.
That's a big bag. If you have 5,000 XRP, man, like things could look really good for you. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I see people telling me how many XRP they have in the chat sometimes. I'm like, oh, don't. I can't believe you posted that. Please don't do that. Remember, I used to have a lot of crypto, and then it was on a boat, and then the boat sank. So we don't know where any of that crypto is anymore. I may have lost it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's, Davy's locker is where all my coin went to.
Davy,
so
your Kaleidoscope's got a super tanker. Hey, happy birthday, Kaleidoscope. They turned 64 on Tuesday, Dad.
Nice.
We got a few 64-year-olds in here.
Right. I knew that. He was he commented one of my videos, I think. And I text back, yeah, man.
That's cool.
We're the same age. I'm sure he's a lot more handsome. Dog ate mine. Exactly. I printed it, and then the dog. I don't know what you're talking about, IRS or whoever's listening. Yeah. God, there was somebody Somebody mentioned earlier they were talking to somebody on a chairlift, telling them about crypto. That's exactly the kind of conversations you need right there. Just
Yeah,
like,
that was oh, why am I forgetting?
yeah, Bruno ate my bags. Bruno man. Yeah, there's so many good people in here. Hey, there's no other place I'd rather be on my birthday. I'm not kidding you about that, guys. You know, an old
Robert,
man.
I'm pretty sure it was Robert. He was telling somebody about crypto on a chairlift and blew their mind.
Yeah.
Apparently. Good job, Robert.
The other thing, no, there is one other place I'd rather be, and that's with everybody in this chat in Las Vegas, chilling by a pool.
Yeah. All of us in Vegas right now in a warm pool.
Yes.
That'd be sweet.
I am an anti-cowboy fan, actually. And my brother-in-law, Elizabeth's sister's husband, sent me a happy birthday thing, and he is absolutely the largest Green Bay Packer fan I've ever known in my life. So the Packers are up 21-0, and I'm loving the sound of that. No, I am not a Cowboys fan. Nope. Michael is his name. I should have mentioned. Shout out to Michael, my brother-in-law. Good man. He's not watching.
We're cursed Chargers fans, and I do mean cursed. Yeah. Like Curse of the Black Pearl, cursed. You know, like we are cursed men, Miss Turner.
Yeah.
And if you know anything about our season, it's hard to watch. Really, it's like what did Romy say about Phil Mickelson? It's like watching a kid chase a balloon next to a cliff.
Yeah.
It's not. It's just. Yeah, I just have to be a fan of the game now if I even watch. You know.
Not from this world. He's going to be in Vegas. I think he lives in Vegas.
Sweet.
Pool party in Vegas. Yes.
Nathan's been commenting a lot recently. Good to have you in here with us. Always enjoy our comments. Thank you.
Yeah.
We got Simon. We got Peaky's had some bangers.
No, oh, that's Elizabeth's family are all Leafs fans. Yeah, Greg, her brother, his whole life. Yeah. Yep. Not easy being a Leafs fan.
It's tough because they've been a lot better in the recent decade, but
yeah,
man, then you're really hugging the cliff. Favorite, everybody, favorite. It came up. Favorite Pirates of the Caribbean line. Go for it. You or Dad, you could go with your favorite. It's your birthday. What's your favorite?
The rum, not the rum.
Yep.
Yeah. It was pretty much the favorite of the videos of the movies I've seen. That was it.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, Dead Man Tell No Tale.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
I was a big fan of, and then they made me their chief.
Yeah. Yeah. There's some good lines in that. Yeah.
So good.
Why is the rum always gone?
If I could do anything and I'm kind of recommitting to it in my life, I would be a author, screenwriter. And because that's just where my brain lives, is in that kind of creative, fun place, both nonfiction and fiction. But I always thought the perfect idea for pirates is making a rated R pirates movie. Not, nudity or language or anything, but making a real pirate movie with Johnny.
Yeah,
I mean, that would have been So good.
It would have been,
One
yeah.
for the adults, man. If Disney's gonna start shooting up people with space lasers, give us a real Pirates movie. For God's sakes. The end.
Yeah. Yep.
Pack of my bags. Yeah, sound off. If you're coming to Vegas, sound off. Um, that's just gonna be a great time. Dad, what did you get out of the show last year? Like out of the speakers? So we're getting Brad, right? There were some questions
Yeah.
too about him going to Davos, uh, which is interesting.
Yeah. I,
They're
you
gonna
know,
have to be involved in all that, everybody, unfortunately.
one of my things I like about Brad, I did get to briefly meet him, and I think I told that story here, but it was really kind of a cool chance meeting. I'm not really taken by celebrity or any of that, but it was cool that we got to literally bumped into each other. But he's not a. I know he's from the Midwest, born in the Midwest, and you really want that whole, he's not that guy. Sorry, you don't get. You don't get in the rooms he gets in. And I forgot the term he was one year at Davos, but he was, I want to say, prominent speaker or even higher ranking than that. I forgot what the term was that he was one year at Davos. Look, here's one of the things, and I know this is going to go over like a lead balloon. One of the things about all those people at Davos, they're not all bad, right?
No.
It's a business group of people who are very successful who want to go hang out with very successful people. Do they all hate you and I? No. Do they all want to just squash you? No. Do they, that's not the story. Yes, keynote speaker, probably. I think he was one year. Yeah. So, it's that I have to always fall back on. Mm-hmm. I know I don't like the WEF. I don't like anything they do. I don't like Davos. I think those people are highly competitive and very successful at what they do. And if you were standing in their shoes, you probably would be there too. And what I'm saying is successful people don't know they're the bad guys. Most of them just don't know that. Yeah. You and I and a million YouTube channels that have told you to hate those people don't know those people, have never worked with those people.
It's not the big picture. They're having to compete against their competition.
Right. And they're trying to stay.
I'm the good guy here.
Stay relevant in the business world. Mm-hmm. Would I rather Brad go there than not? Believe it or not, yes. Because we need him there to represent what you and I own.
Yeah.
Because those guys are the people that are going to, they're not buying the onesies, twosies. You know what I'm saying? They're not buying a 12-pack of XRP. They're buying 12 billion of it. And, it's a whole different, deal. So, yeah. But, yeah. I think he's going there for all the right reasons. I know the man is a man and he doesn't walk on water, and neither do I. And I don't expect him to. So is he going to rub some really dirty elbows? Yeah, he's probably going to do a bunch of that. Yeah.
It's got to be done. It's got to be done.
To some degree.
XRP is.
I love the way he's coming after big business and banking. He's not bowing down to those people. You hear that man speak, he's throwing mud against their windows. And I like that a lot. He's not, get him his neck wrung. He's not going to go that far, but he's calling people out. Yeah.
Yeah, Johnny G, we would definitely consider working with Waters Above. Waters Above, if you're listening, we'll work with you.
Oh, he doesn't need me.
Our crew tends to love you. So, yeah, to that. I was really impressed with what I saw and heard. That was cool.
I think his Patreon group would really kind of, like, I know some people mentioned Lewis's master. He calls it a mastermind. I don't know what the difference is. Of all the ones that I've heard of, that would be the one I'd be tempted to join. I mean, I love Lewis and his work, and Brad Kynes has one too. Zach has one. Everybody's kind of seems to have one, but joining those would be less tempting for me than it would him. Just because I think he brings something completely different than they do. And he's not 100% all XRP.
Yeah.
I think we get jaded in our coin. It's sort of like investors have to understand. You can't fall in love with gold. You just can't. You can't fall in love with the metal. You have to understand what the metal does and what the purpose is for it, and what when you fall in love with one coin and that becomes your whole bag. I mean, I'm not saying anything new. He did a video about it. When Lewis told me the only coin he owns is XRP, I was just like, wow, man. I thought he was a little sharper than that. But I'm not saying he's not smart. I'm not saying that. That's probably going to be a big winning trade for him, obviously. And he's happy.
The people that follow him. Huge.
Yeah. And probably whatever the gains he gets from that, he's going to be more than happy with, I'm sure, in his life. He's probably got a giant bag. But that's not diversified.
Love you, Simon. Peace, brother.
Simon, we'll talk soon. I talk to Simon probably once or twice a week, guys. I just talked to him yesterday, I think. So that's kind of one of those things that it's like really hard for me to just fall in love with one thing, one project like that, because like I know people that don't even own the coins that have done really well recently. Like, I mean, can you imagine if there's probably a lot of people in here. The only thing you own is XRP, and like Bitcoin's up 170%. And, Solana's up, I don't even know, like 800% in the last year. And you're standing there going, well, what's in it for me, man? Where's my bag? When's my home run? And that's tough.
People like me who've only had XRP or bought it in the last couple of years. It's a tough couple of years to be there. There's something about, even if it went down, I'd be like, oh, okay, I'm just going to hodl it, But when it's with the consistency, and when you see something getting pushed down, it's like, oh man. And then this huge adoption that's coming for it. There's all this hope and all this excitement, but it's down the road. Which is also good. I don't mean that to sound bad at all. It's really exciting.
The other thing I noticed, because I've been doing this a while, guys. The other thing I noticed is let's say you bought XRP at 2 cents. And then you sold it at 50. And then it goes to $1. It's really hard for you to get back into XRP. It just really is. You're like, wow, man, I don't know. It's too expensive. I'm going to wait for it to go down. And then it never goes down. Or it only gets to 80 cents instead of, what you bought it or sold it at or whatever. And that whole game just leads to misery. It's like, because you're only in one coin. You're playing one, you're
playing one game. And
one game,
that's cool. That's cool to play the one game, but that's why I love that we discuss different projects, and so does the crew. And you all get us looking at other projects, and that's, we're we're in this to keep investing. You know,
Yeah.
this is
So frustrating. What you got to do is you got to pick your favorite 10 or favorite 2 or 3 when there's blood in the streets. You guys remember like a year ago when you couldn't even get anybody to talk about crypto? Like for some reason, that's when my channel got popular. But like when we were at the bottom, like I would start every video with like, I hope you're buying this market. You guys remember telling you, I hope you're buying today. This is buy time, right? We're already almost doubled. We've almost doubled even XRP since those days, you know? So yeah, it's really cool. And I started really looking at, somebody just posted XDC. I started looking at XDC at 0.2. And I was like, man, I really like this project. I should buy some of it. And I just never really got around to talking to Elizabeth about it and going over it. And we just never bought it. I didn't buy it. I think I bought it right when I did the video about it, which was, I think, 4 cents I bought it at, whatever it was. Yeah.
At Staple Crew, if you would need to choose only 2 out of these 5, which 2 do you choose?
What are the 5?
XRP, XLM, XDC, Quant, and ADA.
That one's easy.
Yeah.
If I had 5 years to wait, believe it or not, if I had 5 years to wait, I would buy XDC. If I could only pick one, if I could wait 5 to 10 years from now, it would make the most money, in my opinion. My opinion only. This is for entertainment use only. Today, I would. It's hard for me. What's your number? You know, how old are you? Where are you at?
Right.
You know?
That's my problem too, Dad. Just because the 2. How about this take on it? The 2 that I know the most about is XRP and Cardano. And I think very, very, very bright future. And so as an investor and someone who's not probably going to be driving around a yacht, you know, that's not my plan with it. That would be fine. Like that's what I would choose. But I those other 3 are insane.
But I love all 5 of them.
That's a good 5, Adrian.
Yeah, I would buy those 5 and sleep well at night. That's where I'm at with that whole question. Throw a dart. Which one's going to go up the most in the next 6 months? I can't even fathom a guess. Percentage-wise, I don't know. I do know this. When XRP pops, it's going to blow your mind. I know I tell this story a lot, but it bears repeat. I can remember buying Theta for 10 and 11 cents, and it never, ever moved. We owned it for like 2-3 years, and it never did a damn thing. And then in 2 or 3 months' time, it went from 11 cents to $17 in like 2 months. And it made multi-millionaires overnight. Multi-millionaires. And the only thing I was sad about was I didn't have enough of them. And I had quite a few of them. And I sat there going, man, I only wish I had more. When it went up that high. It was $17. I was like, man, I picked the right coin. I got the right coin. It all worked out for me. Everything's great. Now I'm sitting here and don't get me wrong. We didn't sell any. That was a mistake. Okay. So I made mistakes in this crypto market. I haven't sold any of them, but we could have, I think we had like 10,000 of them, right? That's 170 grand. And we didn't take profit. You know, that same thing happened with a bunch of other coins that we owned at that time, and we didn't take much profit at all, like we should have. So this time we're going to be together. This time you're going to be with somebody that's been through this 3 or 4 times, and we're not going to make those same mistakes. And we're going to learn from others, and we're going to learn from each other. And that's really what's going to be fun about this next bull run. So,
yeah.
But so, like, that's the bummer with diversifying. If you have $1,000 and you only have $100 and 10 coins, it's and then that one goes through the roof, you only have $100 worth of the coins. You're like, damn, I got the coin, but like I didn't have enough of it to change my life. That's kind of one of those things that hits you, you know?
Yeah.
When you want to upgrade your life and you have upgrading money in these cryptos to do so, do it, is my advice. There's going to be dips in the future. There's going to be blood in the streets again. And I'm going to be on this channel with you going, I think this is about as bloody as the street's going to get. Let's start buying some more of these onesies, twosies. These XDC will maybe be like 50 cents on this next bull run. But like nobody will know anything about XDC but us. And we'll be buying it at 50 cents and the damn thing will go to 15 and 20 bucks. But that's the next bull run, maybe. See what I'm saying? And we'll know about those coins. I hope that made sense.
Yeah, that's what Cody was talking about. You know,
cool.
using it as a vehicle to accrue those other assets that you want. Because crypto's cool, but it's a tool of trade. It's not a chicken. It's not a house.
No.
It's not feeding your kid. It's not starting your business. I mean, it might be, but yeah. Take them gains. Take them gains, baby.
Yeah.
Feels like you got our backs, Alan. Feels good. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely, Alspawn. You know, the decision to do a crypto channel, it all boiled down to that. You know, it's wanting the best for people around us, because that's when things get really fun. You know, when we all get to invest and we all do good, and maybe we all get to go to Vegas together more. That's the stuff you remember. You know, when you do well and you can buy those other assets, that's the real stuff. That's the real. And we want that for you. We're gonna be honest with you about it. We're not in this we're not working for any of these companies, and we're not advertising with them either. So our interest is in you doing well. And when we screw it up, we'll tell you. When we get them right, we'll try to voice it.
Yeah, I can't wait to do some cool stuff with Cody. He's right down the street from me. Well, down the hill. But
that's so cool.
It's going to be fun stuff. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And everybody, thanks, Joanna.
Thanks, Joanna. Yep.
Yeah. We're doing a lot helping people and in this community up here. And we're going to do a lot more about helping people in all communities all around the U.S. We won't be going outside the U.S., I don't believe. Maybe Canada, I don't know. But we're not no plans on that yet. But we're planning to help some people as best we can in some ways that are going to be fun that we'll share over time. Yes, if you're not a Patreon member, you might want to check it out over there. It's good fun. And we get a little more crazy over there, but a lot more crazy.
Yeah, we do.
Brent and I, you almost said it a minute ago, Brent and I came real close to just doing a spirituality channel, personal growth, kind of more of life coaching thing. We came real close to not even doing a crypto channel, to be honest.
Motivation and hope.
Yeah.
You know that. Yeah. And it and you know my dad is so good at all this stuff, dot to dot, and so passionate about researching it and letting his mind, you know, expand and going on ideas with it. That it makes sense, you know, that's a vehicle for us to be who we are and be positive and come here and love on you guys and be honest with you and get into all of it. And that's the beauty of Patreon is, you know, our paid members get to see all the sides. You know, they get the law of attraction, they get the, you know, the Bitcoin ETF, they get, you know, our chats on sovereignty and all. I can't wait to do more on it. I can't wait for us to expand it even more.
We do more of that in our Patreon.
Record over there, Dad. We'll record over there.
Yeah,
that's my 2024.
It's so unique to have a relationship with your son. We don't know it any other way, but I see other people and the way they handle their relationship with their children and whatnot. And as you get older, it gets a lot easier, I guess, for a lot of people. But for me, it's like Brent's always been my friend, and we have a lot of respect for each other. Yeah. And that only grows with time and age. But like, we can all share that. We can all have that together. You know, we don't need just to, we don't need to become wealthy to like all of a sudden help people around us. Even if you don't like who they are or their political beliefs or whatever it might be, or they use drugs, you know, whatever, you know, well, if they're hungry, you feed them, right? That's kind of how I look at it. And so it's just fun to be able to work with people and change people, not change people's lives, show other people who are out there in this world that people care about them. That's all you have to do. Like, you care to listen to them. You care to talk to them. You care. I love when people in this chat call me. I know I can't give my phone number out to everybody, but I have so much fun. I'm really enjoying this aspect of my life. And Peaky said something about doing a food bank
with his dad.
You make that happen, my friend, for sure. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Hey, Melissa.
Yeah.
You're great at
it. House. I saw her somewhere up there. I didn't read what she said.
You were both great at this. Big heart. That's
oh, cool. Yeah, she's so sweet. We
not from the staplecrew.info is where you can access our Patreon account.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there she is. Becky. And Becky's in the house. Man, we got all the ladies. Yeah, have you noticed how many? We have a lot of ladies. We have a lot of Canadians. We have a lot of ladies.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm really stoked on it.
We got some Brits. We got
OG.
So cool.
We got OG back in the house. He must have come back.
You're an OG Mac or a player. You start that channel yet or what, bro?
I also want.
If you started your channel, OG Mac, send us the link.
Yes, please.
And
please send us that link.
We'll go look at it right now.
Yeah.
Right now.
And Scotland's always here. I want Professor to send me an email so I can get a hold of him. I need to.
Dad, Professor's on our Patreon. Go into our private chats and you can talk to him in there. There's another one you need to respond to in there, by the way.
Yeah, but did he respond? I asked him last week, didn't I? Or maybe that's somebody else I asked.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Tids. Yeah, I kind of figured that would be a London name.
Kung Fu's a Brit. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't get to the UK. I visited Europe and just loved it. Hope to do way more over there. I only made it to Ireland, but can't wait to see the UK. Can't wait to go to Scotland.
Yeah. I'll tell you, there's a show coming up that I would love to go to. Whoa, that's the one I want to go to, guys. By the way, it's big. I know XRP is going to be more fun because I know more people there, but there's a show coming up in London that everybody who's anybody in the digital world is going to be there. And anyway, I don't remember the link. I don't remember the name of it, but I heard Mark. I don't know if you guys ever listen to Mark Yusko. I listen to him a lot. And anyway, he's talking about, he's all excited. He's going to go. I was like, oh man, I'd love to go to that show. But I just heard that Brad Garlinghouse is going to go. So that'd be kind of cool.
Nice.
But somebody asked yeah, Becky, 30 below. No, thanks. No, that's too, the US is getting a big time cold snap right now. That's
wild.
It just left Cali and it's headed you guys' way, or it's been headed your way. But today is actually seems like it's warming up. Today's crystal clear and beautiful here where I live in the Sierra Nevada.
Thanks, Crypto Mountain Man. We love you, man. That's much appreciated.
Yeah.
Everyone has worth. That is the point.
Where's Crypto Mountain Man at?
Where you live? Don't tell us the exact location, Crypto Man, but maybe just a general region, you know.
Yeah. I mean, unless you're like Sasquatch himself running around and you don't have a location.
With a computer and internet access.
Right. Yeah, well, we know they do. Yeah, we know they do. Yep. Man, I can't believe we've been on this thing at 2 hours.
Any questions? Anything you guys want to ask us?
Actually,
questions.
Jason had another one. I started to read it, and this chat went by so fast I couldn't see it.
If you could ask one question to CTO Schwartz, what would it be?
Oh, at the show. Yeah, I heard he's going. David Schwartz is going to the show.
That's a great question.
Man, that is a good one. I'd like to ask him about his failed business ventures, but no, I don't think that'd be too cool.
Thanks, Alan. You're a real killjoy.
Yeah. Well, I know, but it's affected a lot of people's lives. And a lot of people asked me about it. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that was going so bad. But I'd like to find out. This is what I'd ask him. If he'd be honest with me, how much XRP do you really own? Because about a year or two, I don't know if you guys remember this, about 2 years ago, he said he sold it all. And I was like, what? Well, okay, all right. But that's the one thing about Mr. Schwartz. He says a lot of things. And sometimes, I don't know whether he's thrown a couple back, if you know what I mean. His brain is so big and he's so smart and he's so sharp. But that guy, like, he'll say something on Monday and boy, by Friday, it's a totally different story. So I'm just saying I think it's because his mind's racing all the time. I really do. Not that we don't all do that, but he said he sold all of his XRP. And then it wasn't even like a year later, I heard him at a conference and they said, well, she asked him point blank, so do you have less than 10 million or more than 50 million? And he said somewhere in that range. So how many coins you got, bro? I mean, not that I need to know. I need to know, do you still have them? And why did you sell them all? Because that's what he told everybody. I think that was like 2 years ago now. I think it was right after the lawsuit started. We were into the lawsuit. They said, oh, no, I got out of all that. I don't know if you guys remember that in the chat. That's my question today. Other than what kind of scotch do you like? I don't know what else to ask him. What kind of dog you got? I'm not a...
I'd ask a bunch of stuff he wouldn't be able to answer.
Yeah.
Long-term vision, partnerships, countries, you know.
Yeah.
Who's on board, who's not.
Yeah. I don't put people, there's nobody on a higher plateau, in my opinion, than like Becky or me or John Love or Robert Williams or Adam. That we're not on different levels. We're all like right here. We're all the same people. There's nobody better than the other guy. I don't care what kind of car he drives or what kind of boots he has or how smart he thinks he might be. He's no better than the rest of us. So I treat everybody that way. And I kind of always have. And it's not the easiest thing to like meet famous people because especially if they want you to recognize them or something. Okay, hey, dude, man, whoever's right over there, big deal. I'd rather talk to Mr. Bob Smith over here, you know. It's kind of how I've always been. Having said that, I did chase somebody at a show recently, and he blew me off 3 times because he was so damn busy. And I thought to myself, I didn't miss anything. I didn't need to meet that guy. But I did pursue trying to hook up because I thought his show and our show could work together in a way. And I could work with him and his son because I have a son, obviously, as you guys have seen. And I thought the 4 of us could do something together since he lives in Brent's hometown. And so I really wanted to make that happen. I thought, man, that's, they're neighbors. This is cool. And it would have been a real opportunity for us all. I was thinking that, and it just didn't work out. However, his son was cool enough to give us his phone number, and we haven't pursued it. But he's sort of gotten, I don't know, his show is going a different direction, if you will. I guess I should tell you what we're talking about.
Not from just join the Patreon. Cheers, my brother. Welcome to our little treasure trove of madness.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. But we got some cool comments. Like one of my favorite authors, speakers is Joe Dispenza. And man, read some of his books. That'll knock you on your rear. I use that to reprogram my mind. That's what I use his work for. And it's just so cool to hear some of that stuff. Just the little things. And we're just talking about what, reconfirming what a lot of you already know, Yeah. We're not trying to sell you on anything. We think you're absolutely amazing. We believe people are healers and, are capable of the highest form of connection. Yeah. However you see that to be. And I'm not here to judge what you call it or what it is. No. We bring up names. So I think really, so people can look at people like Joe Dispenza, and you can find different works and please explore it all.
Yeah.
Man, Peaky had the quote of the year, by the way. He had the question of the year. Just, that was unbelievable, bro. I think I'm gonna have to ask him that question. Should I mute him?
What's the question? Can you repeat it on YouTube?
I don't know. I don't know. It's just no. We can't because it's just clever. Clever is Clever's the real winner in this world. Ask David what the speed velocity of an unladen swallow is. I mean, dude, that is epic.
Okay. Yeah.
Man, somebody else had coffee today too.
I actually might get a chance to ask him a question. I don't know. It was so weird last year because I literally turned the corner and almost bumped directly into Brad, and he's like it was a chance meeting. I wasn't trying to hang out with him or anything like that. And we actually had an elevator ride together, and I was like, that was pretty cool. But it was like I wanted to ask him 50 questions, but honestly, I didn't want to hassle him either. I was just like, you know what, man? Hey, how you doing? Good. You know, the cool thing, anyway, I don't want to get into that. I've already told that story a million times.
Hey, but, Karen.
Karen McCormick in the house, I saw, Rhode Island.
We got kids.
I love Rhode Island. I'm a huge fan of Newport. I've been up there a bunch of times. I've spent a bunch of time up, we went to the yacht club a million times, a couple of million times. But one of the things that a lot of people don't know is that actually the New York Yacht Club is in Rhode Island. But, I know it's hard to believe. I didn't believe it myself until I went there. But yeah, I spent quite a bit of time up in there. It's good fun. I love the Northeast. So much history and so much going on, especially when you see it from a boat. It's so cool. It really is. It's a little slice of the world up that way. It really is. Yeah, that whole area, all of it, Maine. As you guys know, I don't know if you guys know this, I was affiliated with a family. If you're my Patreon, you would know this, but I was not affiliated with a certain family that had a big compound in the Kitty Bunkport. So you guys probably put together who that was. And so we went there a lot, went to Maine a lot. I think I went to Maine like 3 different summers in a row, all the way to Maine and back, or Canada and back one year. And it was fun. That's the kind of stuff that if you don't, like when you grew up in California, there's not that kind of history. We just don't have that history here. And it's a totally different atmosphere to, I can remember what town was that? I want to say it was Newport, but you're sitting in a bar and it's the oldest bar in the world. Sorry, not the world, in America. And you're sitting in this thing and it's just a dugout stone wall and you're just sitting in there and you're like looking around and you're like, and then you start reading about the people and who's been there and what they talked about and all the cool stuff. Anyways, good fun. Yeah. I love that area without rambling on too much. So yeah, today, birthday party, just a real chill event. 2 or 3 couples. Yeah. Oh, right on.
Yeah, Lake Arrowhead. Very cool, brother.
There you go. That mountain.
I've driven through there a bunch of times.
Oh, yeah. That's where I learned to ski. I learned to ski in that area when I was a young lad. Yeah. Big Bear. Mountain Man, I don't know if you know, Brent and I lived in Mammoth Brent lived there.
Yeah, I graduated high school there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
the Sierras. If any of you have not been to the Sierras, please go. And you don't have to just go to Yosemite. Yosemite is mind-blowing. Yosemite is mind-expanding. But every other area of the Sierras, and I've hiked a bunch of it. My dad's hiked even more. It's just so amazing.
Ollie, yeah.
There.
Yeah, Stronghold. Yeah, we have a bunch of people who bought Stronghold when I did a video about it. I don't know, 6 months ago, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, Jasmine had a big pump too. I'm gonna get into that one this week.
The Sierras. Everybody kind of knows Lake Tahoe, but if you get a chance to go to Mammoth, way more laid back. Yeah. Yeah, I was a fishing guide in Mammoth Lakes. Yeah.
Brittany, have you hiked Whitney? If anybody's big hikers,
Brett and I have both hiked Whitney.
I'm glad I've done it. I don't know about again, just because now I think I'd hike Shasta or something else,
Yeah.
But it was unbelievable. I think 26 hours up and down. So not too bad. Not too bad.
Yeah. Nice.
Nice.
Yeah. Brittany, are you?
Ashley.
Okay. Yeah. Brittany lives around here then, huh? Anyway. Yeah.
That's cool.
Mammoth is pretty cool. It's just a little slice of heaven. But yeah. We love where we used to live. I lived there from, gosh, man, I'm really showing my age now. 77, I moved there and moved away in 90. When did I move away, Brent? Early 90s. 93, something like that, 94. We could never figure that out. So I don't know, 3 years, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. But I was gone. We were gone for a period in the middle there, but yeah, a few years.
Nice. Pretty van life. While I was working on boats, I did that. I drove all over the country. That was the best time of my whole life. So I get it, girl. Get it.
Yep. Bouncing around in a van.
That's so cool.
Is anything better than that? I don't even know there is.
I don't think so. I honestly, car camping.
It's good.
It's the best.
I was telling Becky last weekend, I did one trip that was over a month, and it was just literally my truck and my fly rods. And I did Montana, I did Utah, Montana, Colorado, Idaho, but almost all of it was in Montana. It was so good. Yeah, a van down by the river. Trust me, it's a good thing to be. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Not Chris Farley's view of it, but
right. Not using your paper for writing.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I want to just get back to that. If crypto just does that for me, it's just a sweet little travel life. That's it. That's all I want. That's all I want out of this, everybody. It's a sweet little travel life.
It's so hard for me because I moved to a location that is like it's mountains, but it's not mountains. It's really hard to explain. Somebody living in Florida, they think I live in the mountains, but I'm at the foothills of the Sierras, but it's treed and forested, and like I feel like I'm camping all the time. I really do. So I love that. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else right now. That's for sure. Love Bob Wilderness. Yeah, I know that place. I know that whole, man. I wish I could remember all rivers. I'd fly. Let me just start some of the ones I can remember. The Missouri, the Frying Pan. Well, obviously, the Snake. I fished a lot of the Snake. The Swan. My friend lived on the Swan River. Madison. I caught the green drake hatch. I know you guys don't know what that means. I caught the green drake hatch on the Madison River. It was why I went. Yeah. Yep. Fished the Blackfoot. I was way more. The Green River in Utah. The Williamson in Oregon. Phenomenal river. Oregon-Cali border right up in there. And virtually every river in the state of California. Like all of them. I've hit it one time or another. So good. Fly fishing.
Yeah.
We're basing our this project that Elizabeth and I are doing with the farm that we have here. And we're kind of basing it around Ducks Unlimited and Trout Unlimited, which are preserving the habitat for ducks and trout. And we took that. I did a lot of work back in the day with Cal Trout and Trout Unlimited to restore rivers and habitat. I did a ton of volunteer work and organized a bunch of stuff, and I was a guide, and I just loved it. And we're taking that angle to a couple of these breeds that we have. They're very rare and endangered. We're trying to take that same concept to a couple of, and we're going to spread it to small farms, small, tiny farms that necessarily can't afford a really high quality breed. And we're going to try and take these pigs to anybody that will have them. And we're really excited about what we got going on. So she and I are starting a nonprofit organization to do exactly that, to diversify these people so that they can feed themselves and also keep the breeds from becoming extinct, because they're headed that way. We don't want that. All right. We should get going, Brent.
Yeah, you got to go enjoy your birthday.
I do. I got to go
enjoy your Sunday.
I got to do some steak.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I love steak, guys. I'm sorry if you're vegetarians. That's that. I've tried that a couple times. Didn't work out for me. But yeah. Yep. Yeah. Man, I can't believe how many chats we got. Today was more chats than ever, wasn't it?
Yeah, today is like the most I've ever seen.
You guys are getting better at this or something, or we are or something. I don't know what's going on around here.
Yeah. All of us
Thanks.
are.
Thanks, Brittany. Yeah. Nice seeing you, Al. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not in this world. Yeah.
Crypto AI. Good to see you in here in your chats. Thank you so much. We hope you have a great week too.
By the way, Peaky, you and I, we need to make something happen for some of those people up in that. I guess you're up in the PI, or where are you up there? Michigan? Yeah. So yeah, that'd be cool. You need to do that, you and your dad, and make it all happen. Thanks, Cheryl.
Christian, much love to you in the Netherlands, brother.
The chat is growing. I'm so proud of you guys. That's awesome, man. I really love it. I couldn't have spent my 2 hours with anybody better than this group right here. I'm glad I did on my birthday. Thank you all for the well wishes. Been good fun. B-Man, what do you got to say for yourself? Are we out of here?
Happy birthday to you, Dad. I love you. Thanks, and man. I really love all of you in this chat. I want you all to know that. Wouldn't matter what you message us about or whatever it is. We'll try to respond to you and talk to you. We try to keep it crypto related over here in the chat, but you all can ask us about whatever you want. We're not getting paid for the live shows. There's no This is us. This is us. This is our group, not Ellen and Brent group. The crew. This is for us, and that's why we love it so much, and why there's more chats. And yeah, Dad, I think we've gotten better together too. And there's always so much to examine, and so much interesting stuff happening, even in the downtimes in crypto. And I think the message on that is there is no downtimes. We hodl, we dollar cost average, we reload, and we keep going.
Yeah, that's it.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen for us. And I hope many other great things happen to all of us. Many blessings on your 2024, everybody. So happy to be doing this with you, Dad.
Yeah, you as well. It's gonna be good fun. Thanks everybody for being in the chat and spending some time with old man's birthday. I appreciate it. All right, on to state now.
Life is good. Be good, everybody.